5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, hello, hello. Guten Tag and здравствуйте. The doc is in, and welcome to another little experiment we have here. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this rock, which I am suspecting to be copper ore, considering that there's this almost green sort of aqua coloring on this rock that isn't like a moss or some growth on the rock. So I suspect it to be copper, because copper gives off that sort of color. Or copper salts do. So what I'm going to do is I've ground some of this up and I've put it into that bottle over there. It's not finely ground to any standard, but, well, some of it is, but a good majority of it is not. And what we're going to do with it is we're going to try and plate that copper onto this little ring I made for a friend of mine. So we have here some muriatic acid. We have a little bottle over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to try, and some of the muriatic acid, like for these bigger rocks that I didn't have time to crush together, I'm going to just toss in the bucket, and we're just going to toss some acid onto the rock. And in the bottle where it's a little more finely ground, smaller pieces, and the reason why you grind the rocks is so that there's more surface area and so that the acid can react with more of the molecules that are in there. What I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to separate out the copper from the ore, if this is copper ore, and that's what I have this extra little bottle here for as well. If this does not work and I find that I have just made a goof, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the muriatic acid, put it in here, and then put some spare scrap copper that I've got lying around in it to create another copper solution to plate the ring with copper. So yeah, let's just first off take the acid and let's pour it into here. Okay, whoops, I haven't even, one moment. Alright then, so we have the acid open now, so what we're going to do is we're just going to pour it right in. And you see it's bubbling a lot. Now this is muriatic acid, which is a very strong form of hydrochloric acid. It's 30% 12 molar hydrochloric acid, and the rest I think is just like catalysts and stuff. But as far as this goes, probably should go get some gloves on. But let's first just shake that up a little bit. And yeah, it is producing gas. I don't know how toxic this gas is. These are just some metal scraps. Let's just toss those. See what happens if we toss those on the... And it reacts to form hydrogen gas. So now what we're going to do is we're going to now take it and we're going to try and pour it in the big bucket. See what happens. Well, we know what's going to happen, but... Alright. Whoop. I don't know why it went out of focus there for a second. But, so now, let's see how warm it is. Sometimes it gets very warm. Which one is more level? That one is. Oh my gosh. You got a root beer float going on here. Okay, let's put you right here. Okay, so that's gonna cook there. Let's grab this little... Actually, no, we can't use anything else that's metal to stir it. Anyway, so now if we just threw the ring in there as is, the acid would destroy it. Hydrochloric acid reacts with zinc, I have a video on Zinc that I'm gonna probably upload sometime soon, and also I do apologize for not uploading videos lately. I've just been really busy over the summer, college starting and everything, so yeah, it's been a little hectic for me. But other than that, I should start getting a few videos out, but on a regular basis, most likely I will not be able to get videos out. So let's, for now, just, okay, it's starting to turn a little green now. Oh, sorry. Get into focus, thank you. It's starting to turn slightly green-ish. Let me get some of that dust that's down there. Try to mix it up a little bit. So, yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting, you guys are not, you don't have my eyes, you can't see what I see. Come on. Can we focus in on it, please? Focus. There we go. So, yeah, it is slightly kind of turning green as it eats away at the rock and ore. Let's see what's going on over here in the bucket. Let's just try to get it all mixed up in there. Yeah, you can kind of see the green on top of the, then again, that could just be the bucket. Let's just... Gotta hold my breath when I'm around that because I don't want to breathe in those fumes. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna probably put on a time lapse for the bottle because you can actually see through it. You can't see through the bucket. So, and I'm actually gonna probably add a little bit more acid to the bottle, just a tiny bit more, just a tiny bit more. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and it's rising again, so meaning probably didn't completely react, and I'm gonna probably add a little bit more in the bucket as well. Oh wow, that rock right there was, you kind of see that rock right there, it was, anything that was on top of it was completely cleaned off. Sorry about that. I'm trying to pour the acid while holding the camera, and yep, it's overflowing over there. So, yeah. Not really good to do those two things at once. Okay, I got the bottle cap for that over here, but I don't want to put it on because then the gas could build up and start an explosion. So, I don't want that. I also don't want little bits of it sparking off, or like flying off and hitting the camera, causing that to go to the crapper. Wait, sorry about that, the video cut off. So yeah, nothing really happened. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on a time lapse of this. And so yeah, we're going to see a time lapse of this for as long as I can have it on before we lose all, or completely lose daylight totally. So yeah, and then we'll be right back to see what has happened to it. I'm probably going to leave this overnight, or for the next few hours or so to see how quickly the reaction progresses, and all that. So we're just going to see how that works out in a moment. So, but first, I'm going to, well, anyway. But first I'm gonna put on the time lapse for you guys, so let's put on a clear side. So I'll be right back. Alright, so welcome back, guys. Sorry the battery on my phone died. So what I have here, this is what we have from the rock itself. This is a stock copper ion solution. This is some zinc I have over here. This was another project I was working on for the zinc, but right now I'm just using it as a testing mechanism, and it appears the copper is turning back to blue. So what I'm going to do with the ring is I'm just going to put it in the acid itself, and then I'm going to use the just some polish and try to polish it up a bit, and then maybe put it in some a cleaning solution to like get this black color off of it. But from what I've noticed, if I rub it on my shirt a little bit, you can kind of see it's a little shinier now ish, but it's got that if you look right there, it's a little shinier now. Just a little bit shinier, but yeah. So, but in order to do that, we have baby chicks in here, so we can't actually do anything that's going to produce gas, especially if we're using an acid like this, because then that could actually harm the babies. So what we need to do is we need to go outside. My phone, unfortunately, is on its charger, so I can't take it outside. However, well, what happened was this. Let me just give you a recap what happened while the phone died. Basically what I did was, this is a little bit of just some stock solution of the, I don't remember. Oh, I was trying to test whether this actually contained any sort of copper ions. I wasn't able to determine it yet. So far, it's not looking good. So what I'm going to do with this, now this I found is not producing too many fumes, so I'm going to try and, actually let me move this over here. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try and start, like my garage lights are on, but there's no light above me here, so it's very dim. So if I turn the light out, it's actually going to be worse. Oh wow, now the copper's kind of coming through. That's cool. So let's just see if this sort of adds anything to it. It's slowly sort of producing a gas, but obviously it's still hydrochloric acid, which will still react with zinc to give off hydrogen gas. Again, another thing that we'll discuss in a zinc element showcase. Now that I have some acid, we'll actually be able to do some acid tests with those. Excuse me, sorry. And I also have, and I am a little excited that I finally do have a little bit of acid now, because now I can do another experiment that I really wanted to do over the summer, but was unable to do due to the lack thereof of materials. So, am I just going to be using this as cleaning solution? Oops, sorry. My brothers are just coming home, so let's see here. Yeah. Probably should have some gloves on, but I don't want to handle my phone and also have gloves on at the same time, so that's a little... Anyway, these are like little cutters, but you can kind of see right there, I dipped it into this little stock solution of copper ions and stuff. And if you can kind of see there's copper on it that got sort of grafted onto it. If you, sorry about that, if you actually pay attention to the bottom of the screen here, this is what we can call a double replacement reaction. Double replacement, or no, single replacement, or single displacement. Why did it just give me that notification that I'm on low? Oh. I actually pulled the charger out, that's why. Oh, that's, sorry about that. So, it's called a single replacement or single, okay, there you go, see, it's kind of fizzing there. And now, okay, that's a little fizzy. And now, as you can see, I could use the electroplating method, which would probably be the easiest and best to, sorry, and probably would be less damaging to the metal itself. But this, I currently, I don't really know how, I mean, I know how electroplating works and everything, but I just don't, I wanted to try this because I wanted to try and see if I could extract the copper from the ore. This is not copper from the ore. This is, just copper solutions, and yeah, that's not going to be good if I don't be careful. Okay, so yeah, you can kind of see copper sort of, can we get, okay, copper sort of grafted itself onto, can we not have the reflection, please? Try it here, okay. You can kind of see there, it's the copper sort of grafted onto it. It's easier to tell on this side, yeah, right here. Yeah, right here, see? Now that's what I want to happen with the ring, except for the fact that zinc, this is what the ring is right now. It's just completely zinc. Now once I toss it in there, I'm gonna go outside to do that, and then we're gonna come back in and we're gonna clean the ring off. So I'm actually gonna go do that right now. So yeah, I'll get one last good look at it before it goes into its acid bath. But actually first, before I put this in the acid bath, I'm gonna run one more test with this thing right here. Excuse me. My brightness thing's going all over my focus thing's going all over the place. Sorry about that. I'm going to do one more test with this to see if I can get it to actually kind of make this sort of shiny look on it as well. I don't know if I will be able to, but if I am, then that will be good. So, and if I have to, I'll just neutralize the acid midway through so that it can just graft the copper on, and because that's still highly acidic, that solution right there. It's still very acidic, even though it's mainly copper chloride and I think a little bit of, okay, why are we not focusing in? There we go. Yeah, so sorry about that, my camera's not focusing. Anyway, I will be right back, and after running a few more tests, and yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. So here comes the moment of truth. Unfortunately, we can't use the actual copper that I wanted. That I wanted to. I have to put my phone between my knees for a second because I'm gonna grab this ring. Can we focus? Thank you. It's a little irregular. Okay, here we go. So what I found is you leave it, okay. So what I found to be the best solution for this is you leave it in for about a minute or so. See, the copper hasn't even gone onto the ring yet. See? So you have to just do that. Sorry about this light going on and off. It's a motion sensor light that we have on our house, and I probably shouldn't be doing that right within the... Okay. No, it's not on yet. Even still, even if it did go on, you'd... Okay, now it's starting to go on. If you can kind of see the copper going onto it. Can we focus in, please? There we go. So yeah, you can kind of see copper's definitely grafting onto my tongs here, but I mean, I put, like, from the ore, I was able to find a few little, like, specks of stuff that was in this, but I just added that to some acid and some scrap copper that I had lying around. Okay, I also don't want to break this ring, so let's just give it one... Alright, let's put it... I'm going to leave it in the bath for about a minute. Actually, I'm going to do it for probably less than that. So yeah, you can also tell the solution around is kind of losing its green color. It's because what's happening is I'll probably put a little animation up here for you. What's happening is, okay, can we focus in on it, please? Thank you. So what's happening is in the molecules, the copper atoms within this, or the copper ions in the solution here are, well, let me back up. This was pure zinc, and these tongs were stainless steel or iron sort of compounds. And so what happened was the copper, the reactivity series, excuse me, that's what it comes down to. This whole thing was a single displacement or replacement, depending on how you learned it. It's either or. I prefer displacement because it's a replacement, but it's also a displacement redox reaction. So, okay, yep. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's just, okay, it's getting a little bit less vigorous. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. Shake it off a little bit. And we should be good. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish this up and we'll see how it turns out. Actually, I'm going to give it one last dunk. Okay, just for 10 more seconds. You can see copper's coming off either the tongs or the ring itself. So that means there's a really thick layer on there, which is good. We want that. Sorry. So yeah, there's a really nice thick layer on that. Yep. Okay. It's almost like I've just pulled it out of like a burning furnace or something rather, or liquid nitrogen, which I really want liquid nitrogen. But all of that coming off is hydrogen gas. I will post a video on hydrogen, an element showcase on hydrogen, probably shortly after this video goes up or so, maybe even before this video goes up. But yeah, so that is pretty. I mean, well, it's a little dull at the moment, but all it needs is a little work. Alright, so if that's thick enough, then we should have a nice solid layer of copper down there. Now, the reason why, so you might be thinking, well, why didn't you just throw the whole thing in there and it would turn the whole entire ring copper? Well, the reason why I didn't do that is because the acid would have corroded the ring itself as well. So, and we didn't want that. So, because the acid would have eaten away at the ring itself and then just, excuse me, sorry, then just turned it into like copper dust. If you've ever seen a reaction with, here, let me actually turn it on myself for a second. One moment. So yeah, if you've ever seen the silver nitrate reaction where you put copper in a thing of silver nitrate and silver will start to grow off the copper, then the whole entire solution will turn blue. This is sort of the same thing, except for we had a stronger concentration of copper. And so, yeah. Oh, it's kind of warm. Let's see here. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so what I found with the other thing that I was trying to test on before I did the ring was I was trying to see if using the drill bit with the cloth worked. Apparently it's not just a cloth, it's also sandpaper under there, so because of that it looked like a sort of angel's like figure. Oh. Okay, there, that's better. There, let me just stand on this. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. You just need to, there was a little bit of copper from it, that I was able to get, but it was so minuscule. I mean, it didn't make any sort of difference. Now, I could try and clean this up just a tiny bit more with a little bit of just regular acid. Try and just get that sort of cleaned off. Wipe it off. Just sort of do that. But yeah. Cool. So yeah, again, sorry about not uploading lately. I've just been busy over the summer. It's cool. Kind of matches. Well, it doesn't match my. I'm not wearing my other copper ring right now. That's solid copper that was mined from the Cherokee Mountains in North Carolina. This was copper that I got from the Ocoee in eastern Tennessee, near kind of slightly east of Chattanooga, northeast of Chattanooga. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah, that was oh, and my tongs are still kind of copper like, if you can see. Can you still see? I don't know. Oh wait. Here. Okay, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, that okay, maybe I should have been doing this the whole time. Okay, so yeah, that was extracting a little bit of copper from copper ore. A little bit minuscule amount. I wasn't able to show it because the camera died, so, or the phone did. So yeah, and we kind of put a little bit of it on a ring. Probably gonna put like a little bit of polish or something on this later, because now it just kind of looks a little black. So can we get my head cover? So yeah, it's a little black right now, but for now, yeah. So again, sorry about not uploading. I've been busy. I will try to get a few more things uploaded. I'm actually preparing to go on a trip soon. I will try to get out 2 more videos after this. Well, before this one goes out, or after this one goes out, I will try to upload at least one other video. It's the hydrogen element showcase. As far as the Doc Gaming goes, I would say don't hold your breath for that one. I have not been able to. My screen recording on my phone is broken, so I have to reset the whole entire thing because my settings got locked or something or other. I don't know. But anyway, also, if you if you have any other suggestions or have any comments about how I could have improved this experiment as far as like making the ore finer, what sort of methods I could have used rather than the ones I did. Now, keep in mind, I was not actually going to extract the copper, try to melt it down and create a ring out of it. No. This was all about taking copper from that and plating it onto this ring. The ring was going to be, this is basically like, well, I would say a penny ring, because pennies are a zinc wafer coated in a thin layer of copper. This, if this didn't work out, I probably would have gone with electroplating. But yeah, so I know I could have done electroplating with this, but like as far as getting the copper from the ore, or even if you're a more experienced, seasoned chemist than I am, because I'm an amateur chemist, yeah, so if you might have known like that maybe that wasn't copper ore, and maybe just copper got in there somehow, some way, I don't know, because, you know, copper atoms are, like, there are few floating around. Anyway, but if you can, let me know. I would love to know improvements I could have made with trying to extract it, the form of, if I was even using the right ore, or if it even was ore. I knew that it was probably a limestone when I was crushing it up earlier. I didn't have that on video. It was almost like these little limestone chunks that had these flakes coming off of it. Now, when I was at the Ocoee and I got them from the river, they looked almost like it was moss. But when I took them out and they dried out, they didn't turn brown or anything like moss would do due to lack of water. And I've had these rock sitting in my basement for almost 2 months. So yeah, and then they kept their sort of greenish color, as you saw earlier. So that's what led me to believe that it was copper ore, or some form of that it had copper in it, because copper compounds tend to have that on them, that sort of aqua color. Sorry, I have to constantly adjust my head because my camera keeps going out of focus because of this darn light behind me. But anyway, so yeah, let me know. Anyway, this is the Doc saying goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Dos vidania. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.
You're gonna be a part of the channel.